Since ancient times, memory has played a very important role in the lives of human beings. In fact, already in the 6th century before Christ, people from Greece started to develop physical ideas about the concept of memory, besides the spiritual ideas which already existed. In that time it was thought that memory came from a strong connection between light and darkness, heat and cold, and if these elements had not mixed, the memory would have been perfect. According to a legend belonging to ancient Greek mythology, the personification of memory, the memory, is the daughter of Uranus, the sky, and Gaia, the earth. After spending 9 nights with Zeus, Memory gave birth to 9 muses. The muses were not only the divan singers, but also the mistresses of thought under every form: eloquence, persuasion, wisdom, history, mathematics, and astronomy. The muses had unlimited knowledge, thanks to their power to remember the past, present, and future. This was the reason why all philosophers and artists of ancient Greek desired to reach mnemonic perfection. The writer Frances Yates says in her book The Art of Memory, "There are not so many people who know that the Greeks, inventors of several arts, created also an art of memory that, like all the arts, is transmitted to Rome and from there came into all European traditions. This art tries to fix the remembrances through the technique of impressing locus and images into memory. The art of memory offers a strong tool in order to catch fundamental points in the intellectual history of the Renaissance." In classical rhetoric, images and text were mapped onto virtual places to aid the memory of orators. Memory was enormously important to orators because they were expected to deliver long speeches with total accuracy. In fact, memory was of such value that there developed an art of memory designed to strengthen the natural memory. One important proponent of the art of memory in the Renaissance was Matteo Ricci, the first Jesuit to visit China. His use of the art made a huge impression on the Confucian scholars of his days. Jonathan Spence tells us in his work The Memory Palace of Matteo Ricci that in 1596 Matteo Ricci taught the Chinese how to build a memory palace. He told them that the size of the palace would depend on how much they wanted to remember. The most ambitious construction would consist of several hundred buildings of all shapes and size. In summarizing this memory system, he explained that these palaces, pavilions, and divans were mental structures to be kept in one's head. Ricci suggested that there were 3 main options for such memory locations. First, they could be drawn from reality, that is, from buildings, etc. Second, they could be totally fictive, and thirdly, they could be half real and half fictive. The real purpose of all these mental constructions was to provide storage spaces for the myriad concepts that make up the sum of our human knowledge. To everything we wish to remember, wrote Ricci, we should give an image, and to every one of these images we should assign a position. Memory is also the mental activity of recalling information that we have learned or experienced. That simple definition, though, covers a complex process that involves many different parts of the brain. The capacity of learning and remembering is one of the main features of human being because they permit the development of language, which is at the base of the communication process. The theme of memory presents several aspects which are complex and fascinating at the same time. Alan Baddeley defines memory as the capacity of storing information and the possibility of recalling. Without memory, we would not be able to see, to hear, and to think. We would not have a language to express our situation, and our personal identity would be meaningless. In short, without memory, we would be intellectually dead. The Greek philosopher Plato compares memory to an aviary, where individual memories are represented by birds. Technological and scientific evolution has changed this metaphor, comparing memory to a computer. Human memory does not present only one function. On the contrary, it includes several interconnected systems which have different aims. The only function that they have in common is storing information that after will be reused in future. Therefore, Baddeley says that we don't have just one memory but many memories. Memory means take something we have been observing, for example a telephone number, and transform it in a way that we can memorize, recall, and reuse. Hence, we can say that learning and memory involve different stages: encoding, storage, and recalling. During interpreting, the type of memory that plays the main role is the short-term memory. As Monen says, the interpreter has to have an excellent memory, but also special in some way. Immediate memory permits to erase information just stored. In fact, short-term memory recognizes, decodes, and gives the semantic representation of the acoustic input. In order to decode new information, short-term memory activates information already acquired and stored in long-term memory or permanent memory. Long-term memory is in fact the place where are stored deepest information. This kind of information is memorized because considered useful for our aims. A great number